Healthy home, reducing the impact of toxic chemicals with the Thieves Line. Hi, I'm Cornelia Mikulasch. I am very passionate about toxin-free living, and within the next couple of minutes, within the next half hour, I will show you why this is important and how you can switch into something better and why you should absolutely look into that. Okay, what will I cover within the next half hour? First of all, learn why some chemicals are harmful. I think some facts are really important here, and to understand where toxins are hidden. And there are some that are really just, obvious, I would say, and there are others that are hidden and we think we are safe, but we are not, and that I will cover. Highlights, I will highlight some of the key toxic chemicals, how they affect us and where they can be found. Then I will discuss some simple strategies to begin to detoxify your home, and of course there your journey starts. And absolutely, it is your decision if you want to start the journey, but yeah, let's see what you think afterwards. And then see why reducing toxic chemicals is an attainable goal and one goal that you should start today. Okay, let's start. Okay. Whether you like it or not, chemicals are all around us. Our homes are filled with chemicals. They are found in our cleaners, our personal care products, our cosmetics, ladies, big time, and even our pots and pans. So these chemicals can negatively impact our health and also our environment. Scientific evidence is strong, and continuing to build that exposure to harmful chemicals in your home and environment are really important factors in many diseases. A commercial cleaner may promise a germ-free environment, but it does not mean there aren't hidden dangers and other risks associated with its use. And you may assume that if a product is on the grocery store shelf, it is tested and safe for use in your home, but that is simply not true. So, did you know that most ingredients in commercial cleaners have not been tested for safety? The Toxic Substance Control Act was implemented in 1976 to regulate the safe use of chemicals in commercial products, but there are a few major loopholes. And instead of requiring chemical manufacturers to demonstrate that their products are safe before they go into use, the law requires the government to prove that a substance causes harm in order to control or replace a dangerous chemical. So companies don't have to clear even a basic safety review before using a chemical in a consumer product, and the EPA has little power to remove hazardous chemicals already in the marketplace. So in June 2016, the Frank R. Lautenberg Chemical Safety Act was passed. And this law updated the Toxic Substance Control Act. The new law includes much needed improvements, such as mandatory requirements for EPA to evaluate existing chemicals with clear and enforceable deadlines. A new risk-based safety standard is required. Increased public transparency for chemical information, and consistent source of funding for EPA to carry out the responsibilities under the new law. So there are environmental groups and advocates that criticize this bill as too weak. Some people are concerned if there will be enough EPA funding for all this new work, and if the bill's timeline for reviewing chemicals is fast enough, and if it is important enough. It will be decades before the EPA can finish evaluations on the first 90 chemicals that it has already identified as high priority. So we have to act for ourselves. Today, people face hazards that were unheard of a few decades ago. We are at risk of exposure to thousands of new, untested synthetic chemicals. More than 80,000 new chemicals have been invented since World War II. Most of these chemicals did not previously exist even in nature, and they have been circulated wildly into the environment. So why are synthetic chemicals a threat to humans and the environment? Well, first of all, it's an easy absorption. We breathe. Synthetic chemicals can enter the body through the skin, through inhalation, or ingestion. Even infants are at risk of exposure to chemicals through breast milk and while in the womb already. Then there is mass production. Over 4 billion pounds of toxic chemicals are released into the nation's environment each year. 72 million of those pounds are recognized carcinogens. Too little testing. Only a small percentage of chemicals have been tested for their safety and for their toxicity, and way more studies are needed. And when it comes to the heavy use of pesticides, over 1 billion pounds of pesticides are used in the United States each year, and approximately 5.6 billion pounds are used worldwide. So there's, environmental persistence. Many toxic chemicals will persist in the environment for decades and even centuries, because it takes so long for our nature to deal with these toxins. Nature can deal with a little bit, but it's just way too much. And all these references I'm referring to are from the United States Environmental Protection Agency. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 200 high-volume synthetic chemicals can be found in the bodies of nearly all Americans, and including infants, newborn infants. Of the top 20 chemicals discharged to the environment, nearly 75% are known or suspected to be toxic in the developing human brain. In the developing human brain. So that means to all the kids, the babies, all those little creatures, all the little ones who are still developing. Okay. These chemicals are proven risks to our health and environment. For example, triclosan has been used in antibacterial hand soaps for years. In September of 2016, the FDA banned the use of triclosan and 18 other chemicals commonly used in antibacterial consumer products because of evidence that shows it disrupts hormone cycles and causes negative health effects. The FDA said that there is no evidence antibacterial soaps do a better job cleaning hands, and chemicals in them may pose health hazards. So companies have 1 year to remove the ingredient or take their product off the market. 1 year. And within that 1 year, people are still buying and use those soaps and products constantly. The ban applies only to consumer products, not to antibacterial soaps used in hospitals and food service settings. So this is a huge step the FDA is taking to improve consumer health, but this ban will not end our exposure to triclosan, for example. Triclosan is still found in some toothpastes, acne treatments, dish soaps, and may be found in products marketed as antibacterial. This is just one of the many chemicals that have been proven to cause harm. So how many of you have heard someone say, oh, it's just such a small amount of chemicals in my households and products, it doesn't really matter. Or I've been using them for years and I'm fine. Have these thoughts ever crossed your mind? Okay, consider the effects of bioaccumulation. What is that? Well, the EPA has stated that small amounts of chemicals are not harmful to the body. But what happens when a small amount of chemicals are found in every single product you use, and you use these products every single day of every week for the rest of your life? Well, a small amount of chemicals in your personal care products, hair products, detergents, cleaning products, can add up to big problems. And this can put a significant burden on your body. So if you picture yourself as a glass, okay, and you keep adding liquids to it, eventually it's going to overflow, right? That's basically what body burden is, or body bioaccumulation. You are fine until one day you aren't. Chemicals can stay in your body and build up over time. So consider this. Some chemicals accumulate in our bodies over time. Okay. Impacts may show up long after the exposure. And some chemicals can become harmful or more toxic in combination with other chemicals. So, chemicals can have more impact during certain periods of development, in the womb, infancy, puberty. So, every tiny doses can be very potent. And you can see this here, just we as women, we use several products before we leave the house. Hairspray, well, eyeshadow, blush, foundation, deodorant, tan, shampoo, perfume, nail polish, hand soaps, of course, sunscreen, lipstick, lip gloss, for example. So, and you will ask you this, well, what can we do? How do we avoid chemical exposure? Chemicals are all around us and they are hard to avoid. So how can we keep our families and our homes healthy? Well, at first, it may seem impossible to have a chemical-free home, but don't be overwhelmed. There are a few small and simple changes that can have a huge impact on your home. The first step to a chemical-free home is to become aware. And that is what you're doing right now. Understand that there are chemicals found in many household products that can be harmful to your health. So it's not only what you put into your face every day or use in the shower, like shampoo, soaps, and shower gels and stuff like that. But it's also glass cleaner, household cleaner, all our household cleaning products. So you're all already becoming aware of harmful chemicals just by reading, just by listening to this course. And of course I have some recommendations and suggestions for you after this. So focus at first on avoiding chemicals you can control, like the products you choose to have in your home. Educate yourself on ingredients and those chemicals that you should avoid. Okay, there's something that is called the dirty dozen, and it is important that you know what this is and which are these chemicals that you can find in products and what they do and what they are called, right? It is important to be empowered and know what ingredients to avoid in your everyday products. So the dirty dozen are 12 toxic chemicals commonly found in personal care products and cleaners. And these are those that you should avoid. This list introduces you to where these chemicals are used and what they are suspected to do to our bodies and also our environment. We have to take care of our environment as well. Okay, first of all, BHA and BHT. They're used in many moisturizers and makeup as preservatives, and they are also harmful to fish and other wildlife. And you can see here they're endocrine disruptors, carcinogens. They build up in your body and used mainly in cosmetics as preservatives. Then the coal tar dyes. They are artificial colors, also found in processed foods. Lipstick. So look for the p-phenylenediamine hair dyes. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Okay, look for p-phenylenediamine hair dyes and in other products colors listed as CI, followed by 5 digits. So the US color name may also be listed, for example, as FD&C blue #1 or blue #1. Okay, these are toxic. Then the DEA-related ingredients used to make cosmetics more creamy or foamy or foaming products, such as moisturizers and shampoos. They also act as pH adjusters. They are also found in sunscreens, soaps, cleansers, and shampoo. Acute toxicity to aquatic organisms and potential for bioaccumulation. So that means when you use a shampoo, that goes down your drain and it will go down into our groundwater. And this will build up, people. This builds up. Let's look into that. The DBP or dibutyl phthalate, it's pronounced phthalate without the PH. It's a silent one, and it is used mainly in nail products, such as a solvent for dyes and as a plasticizer that prevents nail polishes from becoming brittle. Phthalates are also used as a fragrance ingredient in many other products and cosmetics, but consumers won't find these listed on the labels. Fragrance recipes are considered trade secrets, so manufacturers are not required to disclose fragrance chemicals in the list of ingredients. So you can also see as fragrance and perfume. We will come to that in a little bit. DBP is also commonly used in polyvinyl chloride plastic, PVC, to render it flexible. Okay, and then the parabens. Parabens used in a variety of different cosmetics as preservatives. They are suspected as endocrine disruptors and may interfere with male reproductive functions. So, parabens are the most widely used preservatives in cosmetics. They are also used in fragrance ingredients, but consumers won't find that listed on the label. And then there are these formaldehyde releasing preservatives, which are used in a variety of cosmetics and slowly release small amounts of formaldehyde. Yeah, all these words that are hard to pronounce, right? Okay, perfume and fragrance. Any mixture of fragrance ingredients used in a variety of cosmetics, even in some products marketed as unscented. Some fragrance ingredients can trigger allergies and asthma. So maybe you can think about someone who might have allergies or asthma. Maybe you know someone. Some linked to cancer and neurotoxicity, and some harmful to fish and other wildlife. Okay, then there are the PEG compounds used in many cosmetics and cream bases. They can be contaminated with 1.4 dioxane, which may cause cancer, and on and on. PEGs are petroleum-based compounds that are widely used in cosmetics as thickeners, solvents, softeners, and moisture carriers. PEGs are commonly used as cosmetic cream bases. Then petrolatum, aka mineral oil or petroleum jelly. These are used in some hair products for shine and as a moisture barrier in some lip balms, lipsticks, and other moisturizers. So the European Union classifies petrolatum as a carcinogen and restricts its use in cosmetics, but regulations in different countries are different. And in the United States, you have different regulations than in Europe or in Latin America or other nations. PAHs in petrolatum can also cause skin irritation and allergies. Then let's look into the siloxanes. Look for ingredients that are ending in siloxane or methicone. Used in a variety of cosmetics to soften, smooth, and moisten. These silicone-based compounds are used in cosmetics to soften, to smooth, and to moisten. They make hair products dry. They make the hair products dry more quickly, and also deodorant creams slide on more easily. So they are also used extensively in moisturizers and in facial treatments. So then we have the sodium lauryl sulfate, and this is used in foaming cosmetics. It is common in shampoos, shower gels, and facial cleansers. It is also found in household cleaning products like dish soap, and also look for related chemical sodium lauryl sulfite. And then there's the triclosan. We talked about this a little bit already. It's used in antibacterial cosmetics such as toothpastes, cleansers, antiperspirants, and they are suspected endocrine disruptors. And the extensive use of triclosan in consumer products may contribute to antibiotic-resistant bacteria. So the Canadian Medical Association has called for a ban on antibacterial consumer products, such as those containing triclosan. So you can see this is a really important list, and I will give you the list after this class. I will explain that to you. Okay, so the next small and simple change you can make in your home is taking action. I guess I made it clear why it is so important to change something, to switch products, to check out some products, and to make a switch. And often, you don't need to replace every single product in your home tomorrow, transitioning to a healthy plant-based home is a lifestyle journey, actually. And you can make changes over time. But start by replacing the products you use most frequently. And this may be your household cleaner or maybe your hand soap. So focus on replacing those products that are used by those most susceptible. So children and those with a compromised immune system. They can be more prone to the harmful effects of chemicals. And here are some simple steps as well. Wash your hands with antibacterial-free soap and warm water. And I will come and have some recommendations on that as well. Wet dust and wet mop your home. Leave your shoes at the door, because everything where you walk, when you have been, when you walked over a lawn which has been treated with pesticides, herbicides, you bring that into your home. So, open windows and doors. It is proven that the air inside a home is up to 7 times more toxic because of all the household products and sprays and stuff and fumes and fragrance that we are using. So open your windows and get fresh air into your home regularly. And then use plant-based cleaners. Plant-based is the solution for us to move on.